Welcome to our Spotlight segment. Tonight, we're going to highlight and focus on an all-star point guard who has the city talking. His name is Mr. John Wall. The Wizards are 19-8 after a rough start, and behind the leadership of Wall and his backcourt buddy, Bradley Beal. Both are giving the city and fans of Washington something to get excited about. He's averaging career highs in points, 23.1, field goal percentage, 46%, and steals, 2.2, while also averaging 10 or more assists for a third straight season, and has also been named for the fourth time an Eastern Conference All-Star. Our team will put him under the spotlight and talk about what's changed this year to last. New head coach, his leadership, his injuries with 2 knee surgeries in the offseason, and what it means to be the #1 draft pick. The other and perhaps most noticeable difference in Wall this season is his leadership style. The Wizards surrounded Wall with different sets of veterans earlier in his career, hoping to craft the right kind of culture around the future of the franchise. Coach Miller and Chuck, what do you have for us?
All right, Coach, let's talk about John Wall. He is on fire. In my opinion, he's having his best season to date. As you know, I went to college in D.C. I've seen a lot of his games, and I think he's really impressive this season. Another all-star bid. But let's talk about what he means to the franchise of the Washington Wizards.
Chuck, he is the franchise, the face of it. And you're absolutely right. He's having the best season of his 7, averaging a career high in points at almost 23, his best shooting percentage from the field, his best free throw percentage from the charity stripe, his best numbers in steals, and he's third in the NBA in assists. What I think he is to this team, he's loyal. He could have very easily said, I'm out of here, trade me. Now, they don't have enough pieces, but they have some good pieces. I love his loyalty. I love the way he's improved his game. He's the face of Washington. Playing like an all-star, they need to build around him like a superstar.
All right, Coach, now the Wizards, they got off to a pretty slow start out the gate, but now it seems like they're starting to put some things together. Scotty Brooks has them playing well. But what is the biggest difference for their turnaround?
Well, slow start, Chuck, that was an understatement. I thought they were roadkill. To my eyes, there were 2 things that are very obvious. Number 1, they started to defend. Number 2, they valued the possession, which means they started to limit their turnovers. I remember watching them play against the Los Angeles Clippers, and I thought that's when the light switch turned on. You had 2 good players in Washington, Wall and Bradley. Now, they beat a good team, a really good team at the time, CP3, DeAndre Jordan, and Blake Griffin. I think that's when they thought, hey, we're pretty damn good. But the number 1 thing defensively that stands out, they're contesting shots. Brooks is a fundamental coach. That's a big fundamental. That's been the biggest difference of their defense.
Now, we all think about John Wall when we think about the Washington Wizards, but he's got another guy on their roster that's pretty darn good, Bradley Beal, sharpshooter. How important is Bradley Beal to the Wizards?
How important is he, Chuck? You might be too young, but maybe some of our Quickie fans, they know Bonnie and Clyde, Sonny and Cher, the Captain and Tennille. You are too young for that. You know Too Short. You were just in the Bay Area. SB12 and Reel to Reel, they all go together. With Bradley Beal, he's the highest paid Washington Wizard ever. He signed a deal, 5 years, $128 million. He started this season as bad as you could ever start it. Then he pulls a hamstring. As soon as he got back healthy, he got his groove on. There was a point where he was averaging 30 a game. Now, he's not going to average 30 the whole season, but he's a knockdown shooter, as you alluded to. Wall needs him. He stretches the floor. He makes buckets. It's that 1-2 punch.
All right, Coach, let's get you out of here. Before you go, John Wall, we all know he's having a great season. What's making him so special in Scotty Brooks' system compared to how he was in Randy Whitman's system?
Well, I think it's noteworthy that Whitman is a great coach and really had so much to do with a lot of what's happening this season, even though he's not coaching them. He was extremely fundamental. But I think it comes down to health. When you look at those first 6 years, Wall never got onto the floor for pre or post practice. So it really was a roadblock to him becoming the best player that he could possibly be. And with Brooks, it's easy to say the game is slowed down, his reads are better. But what Scotty has done is he's empowered him to be the coach on the floor. Now that he trusts him, he lets him call the plays offensively and defensively. Who's hot? Who's not? What do you want to do in this situation? Brooks is all about fundamentals and confidence. Wall is playing with great confidence. Chalk that up to Scotty Brooks.